You didn't choose to be a fight person or a fawn person or someone who goes completely blank under pressure. That includes the version of you that goes quiet in meetings, or the version that overcommits to keep everyone happy, or the one that can't sit still until the conflict is resolved. Your nervous system picked one of these years ago, and it wasn't random. It was based on exactly what kept you safest, with exactly the people you couldn't afford to lose. So, why does your body pick fight over freeze or fawn over flight? It comes down to one factor almost nobody talks about: who the threat was coming from. When a threat has no relationship attached to it, a stranger, an accident, something impersonal, fight or flight makes sense. Confront it or get away from it. But when the threat comes from someone you actually depend on, a parent, a partner, anyone you can't just leave, fighting or fleeing can cost you the relationship you need to survive. So the nervous system finds a different exit. Freeze conserves energy and waits it out. Fawn tries to make the threat like you enough to stop. Neither one is weakness. Both are calculations your body made before you were old enough to make them consciously. And it doesn't stop at four clean categories either. Most people run a blend: fawn under one kind of pressure, fight under another, depending on exactly who's in the room and what they taught you to expect from people like them. For me, growing up meant one unpredictable parent and no way to leave the house. Fighting made things worse. Running had nowhere to go. So I got good at reading a room in half a second and adjusting before anyone got upset, which felt like a personality trait for 30 years. It wasn't a trait. It was the safest exit available to a kid with nowhere else to go. It still shows up at work now, 20 years later. I'll notice myself scanning a room for tension before I've even said hello, adjusting my tone to whatever keeps things smooth, long before there's any actual danger in that room. Here's why this matters more than it should. The room you're in today is probably nothing like the one that taught you this pattern. Your boss raising their voice isn't your unpredictable parent. A friend seeming distant for a day isn't the abandonment your body once trained for. But your nervous system doesn't check the calendar. It just recognizes the shape of the threat and runs the same old program at full speed before your conscious mind even gets a vote. That's the part worth sitting with. Your default isn't your personality. It's a decision your body made once, correctly, in a situation you can't fully remember. And it's been running on autopilot ever since, even in rooms that are actually safe now. It's not a flaw to fix. It's outdated software still running because nobody ever told it the danger passed. Here's how to actually spot your own default in 3 steps. 1. Think back to the environment you grew up in and ask honestly which move kept you safest: fighting back, getting out, going quiet, or keeping the peace. 2. Notice which one you reach for first under stress today before you've thought about it at all. That's your default, not your only option. 3. The next time you catch yourself mid response, just ask one question: is this room actually as dangerous as the one that taught me this? Most of the time, the honest answer is no. And that gap is where change actually starts. This isn't about forcing yourself to respond differently overnight. It's about building enough of a pause to notice you have a choice at all, which most people never realize is even possible. Comment your default below: fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, and one honest guess at where it came from. I read everyone, and it usually helps just to see you're not the only one whose body learned this. Once you know your default, the protocol from the last video actually makes sense, because you're not managing four random states anymore. You're managing the one your body reaches for first. We're building this piece by piece. I'll see you in the next one.